think we're about ready to get started. So that took 30 minutes to set up when I didn't know how to set up. So that's all well and good. I want to put all of my resources there because I got to put my deck right there. And then I have a discard over here. Okay. So, and those guys will come in later. I'm just going to flip through this real quick. So there's card management, which is where cards will fall off the end, and there are certain things that happen when cards fall off the end. We'll put those right there. That'll work. It is possible for a player to have only 3 cards. They're never allowed to have fewer than 3. On a turn with 3 cards on the right, we drop off, shuffle, block to new pile. Movement, primary action. There's a ton of primary actions. And some of the primary actions are remarkably complicated. Then recruit, which allows you to get new cards, collisions, draw cards, endgame scoring, etc., etc. Okay. All right. I think I have got enough that we can actually get going. So I'm going to start with 3 cards, like that. Do these guys look better if they're laying down? I think they look about the same. Okay. So we started with 3 cards. The cards are all villagers. I did get my super awesome guy, and I'm probably going to go ahead and start with him. So the way it works is you have 3 spaces on your board. When you play your villager, he applies a certain amount of resource and a certain amount of movement. I believe that's movement. Yep. Okay. So he provides movement. He provides some bonuses. Like the trader, anytime they trade money, they get money. So that's kind of what that looks like. You're not going to tell me, are you? See, the other games, a lot of times they give you a summary of what all their different iconography are. This one does not appear to be telling me that. There it is. Trade can only be done. Oh, every time you trade, you gain a coin. So every time you trade, you gain 1 coin. That's kind of cool. So he gets free money basically. And we probably are going to do a lot of trading because 2 of my 3 guys are traders, and then there's a double trade on the board itself. But I think we're going to go ahead and start with this guy. So I'm going to put my hand here. So the first thing that happens is he gains 1 of each of the resources. So 1 stone, 1 gold, and 1 ink. And if you paid really close attention, you notice that I picked those all up in a completely different order than how I said them, because that's how I work. So that was pretty good. We could actually do some building if we had some building. We have build 1, which isn't super awesome. And at the top of the board here, it tells us what all the build values are. Let's straighten all those out. So we did our card phase. And basically, your play is right across the top here. We always have to check for corruption. We have no corruption, so that's fine, which means now we have to move. And we have to move a minimum of 1 space. And there are a bunch of arrows on the board here. It's probably a little tough to see. I could move the camera, but then it would take me another 20 minutes to get it back into place, and we don't want to waste that time. But just know that there are little arrows on the board here that tell us which directions we can go from each of these nexuses. And we have to move a minimum of 1, but we can move more so long as we spend 1 coin for every space that we move. Right now, so that means I could move here, right? Yeah, I could move here, which there is no trading there. From here, I can go into the castle, or I can do the manuscripts. But I don't really have gold to go into the castle, and I don't really have stuff to go into the manuscript, stuff to perform the manuscript. I would need 3 crosses to perform the manuscript, and I don't have that, so so I'm not going to go that direction. Go here, which means I could then turn my trade value, which currently I have a 3 trade value, I could turn it into gold. So right now I would in fact get, well, I'd get 1 gold because I only have 3, so 3 into 2 is 1. I'd get 1 gold if I went there. I could spend more coin and turn that into 2 gold. Gold is good for when you're going into the castle. I could spend 1 more coin to move further and go here, at which point in time I would get 3 coins back, but that would really only be 2 coins back because I spent 1 to get there. So that's not super awesome. I could spend 2 coins and get out here to get more stone. It would be a total of 3 to get 2 stone, and that's if I want to do more building. There is a builder coming up, but that does seem like a really long way out there. But, I mean, there's no reason not to, because it's either that or I spend a coin to get a gold. That's really my other option. And this guy's going to get me some coins back the next time I trade. So, yeah, we're just going to move the 1 space. We're going to spend 1 coin, because so each of these tell you what you can use to supplement. So for trading, you can supplement with coins. Building, you can supplement with stone. Fleur de lis, I believe, is influence. You can supplement with gold, and then I don't remember what the cross stands for, but basically it's manuscripting, and you can supplement that with noble is the cleric. Okay, so the fleur de lis is noble, and then the cross is cleric. You can use ink to supplement that. So I'm going to spend 1 coin to supplement my trade, which means I have 4 trade. 1, 2, 3, plus the gold is 4, which means I get 2 gold, because it's 2 trade equals 1 gold. So I did my primary action, which is this whole stretch right here. Oh, I forgot I could have used the person here, but I think you have to pay that much in coin to get their symbol and their action. And I don't think I want either of those on that person, because it would have, I mean, it would have given me, it'd been 2 coins to get basically 1 wild icon. I'm gonna double check that real quick. Right there, as part of the primary action, the player may dismiss the face-up townsfolk card. The cost to dismiss is the silver value at the top left of the card. So yeah, I could have paid 2 gold, or 2 coins to get a wild, which would have, again, put me up to 4. Itch on my back. It would have put me up to 4. So it'd be 2 gold to get the 4, and it would have moved my corruption marker up, and I don't really want to move my corruption marker up. So really, that would have been a terrible move all around. So I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm glad I forgot that I could do that. So now I've done my primary action, I can hire that person permanently and add them to my deck. But again, I really don't care that much. So again, I'm not going to do that. I forgot. 7. Yep. Forgot one of the steps of setting up the AI. Okay. Which got, is that the symbol for gold? That's the symbol for gold. Okay. What is their task here? Oh, their primary task. So the AI is a constructor. So I could hire this person permanently and put them in my, I think they go in the discard pile when you hire them. Let's double check. See, when we get past this first turn, it's going to pick up a lot. Recruit. The cost of hire is the value at the top of the corner. Players can only hire 1 townsfolk card. When hiring a townsfolk card, must pay the silver, then place the card in their discard pile. And then you also immediately resolve the effects in the corner. I don't want that person. Really, I guess I'm just going to kind of wait for the AI to blast that person out of there, because I don't want them. And then I check to see if there's a collision. No collision. And then I draw back up to 3 cards. And then the AI goes. And the AI's turn is effectively the same way. It's just not spelled out on their... Oh, no, their turn is they flip this over, and then they do everything from top to bottom. We're going to just read through the AI turn so that I remember how it works. General rules. Oh, they gain. Okay, so they gain the hammer icon. Okay, so what is that? Oh, so they dismiss the top card in their area. They immediately gain the effect in the top right, but they do not gain the icons in the left. But they do get a card from the future scheme added to their discard pile. Okay, so this card is basically immediately removed from the game for free. They do gain virtue as a result. They gain the top card of their future pile added to their discard pile. See, I screwed up. They don't have a place to put their discard pile. Just know that they have a shitload of coin right off the side of the board there. Can we bring these in just a little bit so we can show that there's coins too? Probably not. It's there. You know it's there. You don't need to know that there's coins over there. Just know that there's coins over there. Put the coins up here. All right, so what if we do that? And we put the AI's coins up there. That's a little better. Just trying to keep the AI resources away from the regular resources. I could put bins out, but that's fine. All right, so they do that, and then they move 4, and they always move around the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's a weird thing if 2 people end up, I think they can pass each other, but I don't think they can, but if they occupy the same space, something happens. If a Viscount ever finishes their movement on the same space as an opposing Viscount, that player may immediately rearrange the townsfolk cards. Oh, I'd be able to rearrange the 1 card that I have on my board. So it wouldn't even matter. And then they attempt to do one of these actions. So they're going to attempt to build, if they can build. And all the build icons are up here where I can't see them. Sorry. So 7, 5, or 3. They currently have 1, 2, 3, 4. So they can actually build 3. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can build 3. But where do they build? Because they have 2 spots they can build in. So it probably tells me. When constructing, they always place to the leftmost building that they can afford from their player board onto the leftmost in clockwise available building spot on the main board. So they are literally going to take that and put it there. They gain an ink for having placed right there. And they revealed the icon. Oh, I had to get rid of the 1 stone that they used. When revolving an effect to immediately construct a building for free, I don't know. Trying to see, because I guess they just gain whatever is under there at that exact moment. and I don't think it has anything to do with turn order. So they would remove this card from play, and they could reorganize their card stack, which is, again, dumb. They only have one card. And also, I think there's a thing. Oh, they would gain a gold for reorganizing. So they gain a gold. They don't reorganize, they gain a gold. That was for that. But they do gain one of the advanced cards. Well, they're getting a lot of advanced cards real quick. This could be brutal. Okay, so we did all the way down to the bottom. So that means it is now my turn. Sorry, I'm trying to make sense of some of these icons. So that's not the gold icon. That's something else. That's people in the castle. No, if I make mistakes, I make mistakes. Okay, so we're back to my turn. I've got 3 cards. I have a squire. I'm going to use the trader, I think. So this guy moves down, and that gets played out. Again, I don't have any corruption. I have to move 1 space again. The only space I can move into is the space where the AI is, which means they would then, which means they would then get another advanced card. They've already got 2 advanced cards. That's already about twice as many advanced cards as I would like to see. So I'm probably going to spend 1 so they can move a little bit further. And that also, oh, I did want to get some stone also because I've got a builder coming out. I'm going to need more build than just 1. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a coin to move 2, 1, 2. Do I want this person here? What is that icon? It looks like flip your discard pile onto your, shuffle your discard piles back in your draw pile. Well, again, that's not super helpful. He would give me 1 skull, which is a wild, which would put me to 5 coin, but I'm still doing 2 for 1. So I'm just going to use the 4 coin that I've got there, or the 4 trade value that I've got there. Because I'm trading, I gain a coin, and I gain 2 stone. Do not take the AI stone. That would be rude. All right, so now I have a bunch of stone. Do I want to own that guy? Let's see. He says that every time I gain a card, I get to discard a card? Yeah. No, destroy a card. Every time I gain a card, I destroy a card, which allows me to really thin out my deck. It might actually be worth 1. His immediate power wouldn't be very useful, but I like having a slim deck. And if I decide that I'm just going to be doing kind of the same thing a bunch, then that could really help. That is a tough call. Yeah, I think just to say that I did something, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I get him. He goes in my discard. He allows me to interesting. I wonder if it happens before or after I gain him. I think it probably happens before. I'm not going to worry about it. We'll play it like that. Check for clash. No clash. Draw back up to 3. Oh, looks like we're going to trade for a little bit longer before we do any building. All right, so now the AI goes. This slides down. Oh, is this what they were supposed to get in addition to everything else or instead? Oh, they don't. So they don't start with what the card tells them. They start with what it says right there. The card told them. All right, so they would just get 1 more stone, which means they could have built a bigger building. They do not start with a whole bunch of coins. I don't think they actually even use coins, so that makes sense. Everything else, nope, that would not have flipped. Yeah, because they just gained 3 of those, 1 of those. Okay. So the only thing that would have changed is they would have built a slightly bigger building. And in fact, I can, I'm not going to do that. What's under there? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. You're going too far back. Okay, so that slides. It's funny, I didn't notice that until I slid that down. And then this. So now they have a wild. They check for corruption. They have, or not, they check for corruption. They have 1 corruption, so that moves. They gain a debt. So they have 2 debts. They move 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish they hadn't used green for the movement because I keep thinking it's me. And then they attempt to do their standard action, their preferred action, which is build. And if not, they do something else. But because I'd have been able to do it last time either way. But they have 1, 2, 3, 5. So they can actually do this building that I failed to do last time. So they're going to do that. This moves. They gain another card. Pretty sure that's what that's going to mean. Yep. So they gain another card from the advanced deck. They are building their deck wicked fast. Wicked, wicked fast. Yep. I mean, in a way, that means it'll slow them down, but geez Louise. Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah, they got to the bottom. Okay, so the nice thing is the AI goes pretty darn fast. All right, so what do we got? We've got a lender, which is going to give me a ton of trade power. So I think it'll be the same as what I had before because this is going to get blocked out. It's going to come back with 2. But that's better than the amount of build that I've got right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway. So these both move down. And that goes on there. Plus when the builder or when the lender comes off, I get to flip over one of these cards. So that'll be nice. Again, I can only move 1 unless I want to pay for more. But I could get a bunch of coins just for moving 1 space. Like that's optimally my best place to move right now. And we're just going to fill up on cash. So we're going to move here. We're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1 for having the trader in there. So 5 more coins. 2, 4, 5 coins. You need to think I need to put the coin resource over here. Hold on just 1 second. If you're watching, I'll be right back. This will help. I keep forgetting I have these, and I keep forgetting them back in the back. All right, so we're going to put stone resource. Don't give any to the AI for free. Right there. We're going to put ink right there. And we're going to put gold right there. And then we're going to put coins. So the game ends. I didn't actually say how the game ends. The game ends when one of these 2 piles of debts or deeds runs out. Yeah, it seems like that's where those coins need to be, is over here, because I seem to be picking those up a bunch. There we go. Look, that's already neater. All right, so let's continue. So I did my primary action. Oh, I didn't check to see if I wanted to use that. I don't think I do, because again, he would just give me 1 more, which would give me 1 more gold at the cost of 3. He'd give me 1 more coin at the cost of 3. Yeah, I don't really care about that. So I did my primary action. I could hire him, recruit him to put him in my deck permanently. Again, I don't think I like him. Oh, he actually brings people in for free. That's even better. So I don't want that guy at all. There's no collision. I draw back up to 3. And now it's the AI's turn, so all of these slide down. The AI has another wild. Checks for corruption, has 2 corruption, so 1, 2. The AI is about to have a collision, and there's all kinds of weird things that happen when there's a collision. And then the AI gains another advanced card, because why not? Moves 1 space, and then either does their primary action or, oh, stupid AI used those last time. I wonder how they get more. It's interesting. They either use their primary action or they get a deed and flip a debt. They do have 3, 1, 2, 3 build, which means they can do this one. So this comes off and goes on the leftmost spot. And then this moves, which means they have a collision. So then they check for collision. The player, what does that symbol mean? Gain 1 inkwell, gold, or stone. So they gain whichever is their preferred. I think it's whichever is their preferred. Let's see what it says here. One recurrence of their choice, which I'm guessing is stone. Oh, it says right here, yeah. So they gain stone unless they have 6, in which case they gain gold unless they have 4, in which case they gain ink. So they gain a stone. Woo! Put that around. All right. So they gain a stone, and they also gain a debt and a deed. And I get this symbol. Oh, I can rearrange my cards. You know what? I am going to rearrange my cards. I'm going to move that one there so that she falls off faster, and I also keep the trade bonus for longer. So that is it for the AI turn. I don't know why these are all stacked like that. It makes it seem like anytime they do those actions, that's when they get the bonus. Maybe I've been playing the AI wrong. I wish there was a reading the AI board. Sorry. Sometimes it takes me a second to figure stuff out. It may actually be that. Yeah, I feel like there needs to be just slightly more information on the solo character. Because it tells a little bit about it, but not a ton. Yeah, it's not super exciting to watch someone read the rules, and I apologize for that. And the AI reference card doesn't say anything. Because yes, the fact that those are stacked up, it makes me think when they get this action, then they also get that action. And that's what it is, not... Oh, see, this one is immediate. It has the lightning bolt on it. Those mean they have permanent new... Okay, so that's what it is. So somewhere... I'm just gonna have to do it from this point forward because there's no way that I can go back and undo what I screwed up over there. That's fine. We're learning. We're learning. This is a learning process. Okay, and then I get to rearrange those, which I did, and then these technically separate. Okay, so that was the AI. The AI might have one too many of those cards. That may be the only thing that like got screwed up, but we determined that already. So now it's my turn again. I'm going to decide which one of these. Oh, first they slide down. So she slides down, which means when she slides down, I get to flip over one of these. I'm going to go ahead and flip over this one because I think I'll have more opportunities. I think I will have more opportunities. So I'm going to flip over the one that's going to give me a resource of my choice, which I'm going to go ahead and make it. I'm beginning to think maybe I need to start doing the castle stuff because the AI is just like they're really killing it with buildings. Which makes me think I need to do some of the castle stuff. Right now I have a ton of stone. Maybe I'm going to get a stone this time and then do like one whopper of a building. Because I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could do a 7-point building right now, which is one of these big guys in the middle, which give me a permanent upgrade to something else. And that's probably a really good idea right now. Yeah, so let's go with that. Okay. That could be really beneficial. So I'm going to put out the, I could put out the financier. Is that discard a card? Discard one card from either your hand or your draw pile. So we could do that. I'm going to try something real quick. Oh, my phone's over there. I'm going to try something lighting wise real quick because it's getting dimmer as the sun goes down. See, this way is north. So we're going to see if this does a ton of glare. Color temperature is off, but it does make it a lot nicer. Oh, that was that one. Okay. Cool. That actually helps me a bunch. I don't know if it helps you at all, but it helps me a bunch. Oh, and then I need my chat window back for all of the people who are chatting with me. So I could do build right now, or I could do the financier, which would get me a discard and 2 more coins. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the build. So the build comes out. He gets me nothing otherwise. He is literally like the worst character that I have. I have to move up to 2 spaces. So I have to decide where I want to build. I could it's not discard. I could destroy 1 card if I built here. I could flip my other deed, or I could flip my deed if I moved here. Oh no, that's not. I could move my thing if I build here. No, that's right. It's either destroy a card or flip a card. If I were to continue onto here, the only thing I could do is ink because Butthead's already built over here. If I paid a ton of money, I could come all the way out here and either gain a deed or, again, destroy a card. So my options are pretty limited as far as what I can build. The biggest thing I'm doing is I'm gaining one of these extra bonuses out here. That's what I'm really going for. I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to destroy a card. Destroy 1 card either in your hand or in your draw pile. Actually, I don't think I have a card I want to destroy because I've decided I'm probably going to do castling. I'm either going to do castling or manuscripts. Let's see, if I go here, oh, God, there's a ton of. So if I get to here and I do ink, I can get this guy, which gives me a ton of trade power, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. This guy, he gives me both construction and trade. And every time he falls off the bottom, he gets me a gold, which is good for nobility. So that would be 1, 2, 3 to get there. I have to move 2, so it's only 1 coin to get there. I could still destroy a card. The financier is a tough call. She does give me a lot of movement. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, which would get me a gold. I think I'm going to do that. So I have to move 2. So I'm going to move 1, 2, and then I'm going to move 3, 4 to get to here. Nice. And then, yeah, I don't need to put the coins over there. The AI doesn't even use coins. And then I'm going to build. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or I could spend 2 to use him instead of one of my stone. I'm going to buy him though. I don't want to dismiss him. I'm going to buy him. So we're going to spend all of the stone. And we're going to put out, let's see, what are we going to do? We're going to do manuscripts, or we're going to do castle. I think we're going to do castle. So we want this building to go here, and that gets us another gold. See, we're getting some gold over here. Plus we got the squire coming. And then we're going to spend 2 to buy this guy, which immediately gives us 1. Yeah. Immediately gives us 1 corruption, divinity? No, what is it? Virtue. 1 virtue. I'm moving super slow on that scheme. And then we check for crash. There's no crash, and then we draw a card. Right? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Oop, thief is up. Womp, womp, womp. Okay, so now the AI is going to go. This falls off the back. These cards love spinning on top of themselves, that's for sure. All right, so that goes off the back. These both slide down. And then this flips. All right, so they have 1 more divinity now, not divinity, nobility. Okay, so they are going to ditch this person. Oh, I'm putting them over here. I need to put them over here. Which means this moves, and then because that goes off, they get yet another one of their advanced cards. There are only 3 advanced cards left. They've almost got the whole freaking stack. Then they move 2. They're yellow, so they move 1, 2. When they're in the same place, I can rearrange. Not 100% sure I want to rearrange. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to build anymore because I just blew all of my stone. So I'm going to put my builder at the end, so he falls off faster. And then they either attempt to do a castle action, or they will flip over one of their debts or deeds. And they do them in a particular order. So they're going to do a castle action. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have to remember how the castle action works. Oh, here we go. So for 3, they can put 2 people in. Yep, okay. So they're going to spend 2 gold, and they're going to put 2 people in the castle right here. And I have to remember, I think 2 can survive. 2 can exist in the same place. I don't think it's until there's 3 in the center, or 3 in the outside ring, that they have to start spreading out. Yes, if they have 3 or more of their own worker in the first tier of the castle, then they have to do the following. Well, they don't have 3 or more, so they're good just like that. All right, so that's it for the AI turn. Oh, that's every time they shuffle. Ah, okay. So when they shuffle, they'll get that. Later, when they shuffle, they'll get that. Okay, I get it. It's starting to make more sense. All right, so this is all going to move down. He doesn't do anything when he falls off. I have to decide. I could put my thief out, which would actually give me some corruption, or I could go ahead and start squiring up. I would be able to put out 3 people in whichever section of the castle I would be in, which would have to be this section, because I have to be here to be able to go into the castle. He doesn't do anything else. That's literally all he does. But it would cause a spread. What do you want, Mouse? Mouse, what are you doing? Do you need your own chair? Do you need to move your chair? My cat likes to sit in my chair next to me. Or sit in a chair next to me. All right, I think, so I could do that, or I could do more trade. Just don't get on the table. There's too much stuff on the table right now. If I do trade, I would have to move 3 spaces, which means I could go here or here to trade. I would be trading with power of 3, which means really the best place would be to go get more money. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and do the squire. All right, so I'm going to do the squire. I'm going to move 2, 1, 2. And then I'm going to do the squire action. And actually, I forgot I have one up here. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get to save a gold. That worked out. And then I get to take 3 people and put them in the castle here. So when you have 3 people in the same spot on the castle, 3 of your own people in the same spot on the castle, oh yeah, it's just on this page. 1 person goes up. And you get that exactly, which is either gold or move a person. Gain gold, move one of your workers from the first tier section of the castle to an adjacent first tier. This is optional. So I'm going to gain gold. That seems like the better option. And then 1 person moves out and 1 person moves out. And I don't think that causes an explosion. It's kind of like Pandemic. When they move out like that. After resolving castle movement, the current player must check to see if they now have 3 or more workers in another section. This can happen due to workers moving around the first tiers. They would then resolve that. If players have more than 1 tier with 3 workers present, they can resolve in any order. Once the current player has finished all their castle movements, they must then check to see if there are more than 3 workers in any. Okay, so we have 3, so I don't have to worry about that till later. Much later, I hope. Okay, so I did that. I checked for clash. I don't have clash. Oh no, I get to buy the card in the area that I'm in. I still don't think I want that. And it would not have helped. I keep forgetting that I can use that during my turn. I don't think I want it, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw a card, and it's now the AI's turn. So AI moves all their cards down. They don't actually have end of or fall off powers, so. All right, so they check for corruption. They don't have corruption. They are getting both build and castle this time, so let's see what happens. They gain a resource of their choice, which their choice is always stone. They're going to move 1 space, so they move here, and then they're going to build if they can build. And right now they have 1, 2, 3, so they will build. So they'll use both of those, and they'll take this and they'll place it here, which means they get to flip one of their cards. And they always flip whichever they have the least flipped of. They have none of the flipped. If they can't do that, then they flip a debt, I believe. I think that's what that icon means. Because they use some weird ones. Okay, when given the choice of which card to flip, debt or D, the AI will attempt to flip that which they have flipped the least of. If they are tied, they will flip a debt. If they only have one, they will flip. They only have one available type to flip, they'll flip that. Okay, but they gain another resource of their type for flipping, or their preference rather. So that's AI. AI is super fast. That's the one thing I do really like about this, is the AI is pretty strong, but the AI is also pretty fast. So I don't have to worry about it too much. Let's see. So this is going to fall off the edge. Sorry, Lothweir. You were good. And then both of these are going to slide down, and then I get to play one of these. So I could actually do some transcription this time. I have, well, I can't do a lot because I have 1 ink, and I will have this 1 ink, so that's only 2 ink. Everything out here is 3 to transcribe. How far would I have to go? So the abbot is going to take me 2 spaces, 1, 2. So I could spend 3 to gain a bonus just for that 1 turn. Is it worth it? It'll allow me to gain the next person for free immediately, but I can't look at who the next person is. I think, because we could do that, or we could, there's not a lot we can do right now. I could put, regardless of where I go, I could put 2 more people in the castle, which would trigger another explosion. I actually think I'm going to do that. All right, so we're going to do it this way. We're going to put the thief here, which I have to check. I have one of those, so I move that. And then I have to move 1 space, so I'm going to move 1 space here. I'm going to go ahead and do the castle move, which I have 1, 2, 3. I could do, I could spend these 2 to put in 3 more. Yeah. Okay, so we'll put in 3 more people. 1, 2, 3. And they all go here. And because I have 3 guys in this spot, 3 or more, 1 guy moves up, and I get that immediately, which means I get this guy, which moves this direction instantly. I get him for free, and I also get to destroy someone. We're going to destroy, I think it's time to destroy the finance. Oh, the destroy is optional. I don't have to destroy someone. I think I'm going to destroy the financier. I have not been tempted to use her yet. So yeah, we're just going to toss her. So he moved up, and then he's going to move this way, and then he's going to move this way. And there is no new space with 3 or more people in it. But look, man, I'm getting a bunch of guys in there. Getting a bunch of guys in there. Okay. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. So I did that correctly. Then I can buy the guy in the space that I'm in. I got the last guy I wanted for, I got the guy in the space for free. I don't think I want the debt collector. He's kind of expensive. He's not super useful to me particularly. So I think we're just going to leave the debt collector, which means I check for clash. I don't have clash, which means then I draw back up to 3, 1. Oh, look, I got a journeyman. But finally, these guys that I've been picking up along the way are getting in here. Oh, and there's a thing. about when I reshuffle. Let's double check what that means. All right, so it's going to be under draw. If a player ever needs to draw cards and their draw pile is empty, they must shuffle their discard to form a new draw pile. At this point, they need to check their player board for criminals. I do. If they have one or more criminal icons, they gain 1 corruption. Just for shuffling. All right, so then I get my card. And I have the minor. All right. I'm gonna double check that real quick. I kind of think they get their top left ability too when you play your guy. I don't think it does. I think that just means play a card. Because it's got a little brown line under it, so I think it's slightly different than the acquire a card. It's a completely different icon, in fact. Okay, so I just finished my turn. And now the AI's going to take their turn, so this card falls off. And all of these slide down. And they get their last card. So they have both transcription and building this time. They're going to flip over a card. They have flipped over fewer deeds. So now they flip over a deed, since they flipped over a debt last time. I'm going to put the flipped over ones underneath. That makes it a little easier. And then they're going to move 2 spaces. See, we're not going to run into each other if I stay on the inside and they stay on the outside. And then they are either going to transcribe, or they're going to do their preferred action, or they're going to gain a deed and flip a debt. So can they transcribe? They need 3 transcription, 1, nope. They only have 2, because they have 1 from here, 1 from here. They have no bonuses up here, so they just get 2. They're going to attempt their primary action, which is build, which they only have 2 to build, and they can't do that. So instead, they gain a deed, and they flip a debt, which gets them a resource of their preferred type. Right, because they already did all the 3s. 1, 2, they could have done 3, but they already did all their 3s. Okay, so that's back to me. This guy's going to fall off the end. He doesn't do anything when he falls off the end. Careful, Mousy. You're nudging me pretty hard over there. All right, so we could do some transcription again, or I guess we couldn't. We couldn't do transcription last time. We can't do transcription this time. We need to get some ink is what we need to do, or we need to get some transcription ability. I could do some construction, or I could do trading. Okay, so there's some ink up there if I build over there. But I don't have any building. I have 2 build, or I have 2. Oh, I can do. I forgot. I can't. I have a wild over there. I can't actually do a transcription. Question is, where do we want to transcribe? Because we're going to transcribe up to 2 spaces away, which would be here. If I paid more, I could be here. If I paid more than that, I could be there. Because I barely have any trades. I mean, I could have 2 trade, which would be 3 trade, which would be 3 coins, or buy some ink. It's 2 to buy ink. We can transcribe right now. So we're going to go ahead and transcribe. We're going to put that. We're going to move 1, 2. Yeah, that's the right one. And then we're going to transcribe, because I have 1, 2, 3 to transcribe. So I gain this. which is the first of those, the first of many, we hope. It immediately moves this direction, so we're going to be more virtuous than villainous by the end of this. I can buy the person in the area. Actually, that person's pretty darn good. They're cheap. They're going to give me more nobility and some tradability. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to buy that person for 1. So we get them. I immediately get to reshuffle or reset this board. I think what we're going to do is we're going to move like that. Right, so that's what I get for there. And then we check for collision. There is no collision, and then I draw a card. This isn't too bad. It's coming along. It's coming along. Hey, welcome, Raid. Nice to see y'all. I hope you enjoy my playthrough of Viscounts of the West Kingdom. In case you missed the beginning of this, I have not played this game before, but it does have a great solo AI, so please to enjoy. Right now, I can't tell you who's winning, but we're getting through the game. If you have any questions or comments, of course, put them in the chat there, and I will definitely respond as quickly as I can. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so I just finished my turn. Yep, because I just drew this guy. I actually really like it. So I haven't played any of the other West Kingdom games. This is the only West Kingdom game I have, but I played Raiders of the North Sea a whole bunch, and I really, really loved Raiders of the North Sea. So when I saw that Viscounts was coming out, I take it back. I had played Paladins, and Paladins just, it was like kind of too much for me. And then when I saw this one come out, it looked like it was too much, but the more I looked at it, the more I watched playthrough videos, it really kind of seemed like it was slightly simpler. And I can definitely say that I'm enjoying it more than all of my solo attempts of Paladins. So really, so far, I really, really like it. For one, the AI turn is really simple and really straightforward. Like I can blow through an AI turn really quick and I don't feel like they're wrecking me. And then my turns, again, it's pretty clear cut what I'm going to be able to do on a turn, so I don't have a lot of analysis paralysis. So I definitely think that of the 2 West Kingdom games that I've played, this is my preference. I have not played Architects, to be fair, but so far I'm really, really enjoying this. And thank you for the question. So we're going to do the AI turn. The AI is going to shuffle their deck because all of this is sliding off to the side, so that one goes in there too. When they shuffle, let's see, when they shuffle, it looks like this slides in and this slides in. Thanks for joining me, guys. This is really great. I would say I'm probably like maybe a third of the way through the game, so hang out as long as you want, and I'll try and keep it as entertaining as possible for you. So the AIs are pretty easy. You just flip over a card off of their deck. They have a skill icon at the top, and then they have a series of triggered actions. So the first thing they're going to do is they're going to remove the card in the space where they're at. The AI is yellow, so they're going to remove this card from the game, which I'm putting them over here. When they remove a card from the game, they get one of their advanced AI cards, which are a lot more powerful. Let's see, I think they get 2 now because of that. Low Architects. Yeah, and that's the thing is I am still curious to play Architects. I just haven't had the opportunity. I've got a friend up the street who's got it. I just need to convince him to come down and play it at some point in time. Or he does, to be socially safe, he does a lot of board games in his driveway. So I just need to hook him up. And if he doesn't have this, maybe we'll do a swap game. Okay, so they did this ability, then they're going to move 2. The AI always moves around the outside. They only care what pie piece they're in. They don't care where in the pie that they are. And then they're going to do their preferred action. No, I take it back. They're going to do a castle action, which currently they have 1, 2, 3 nobility, because the gold counts as nobility, which means they get to put in 2 people. Man, it was so much better before we had to shut everything down. But yeah, it's nice that he has like a big open. He has a big open carport. So we put out some space heaters and we just kind of play on his carport. I'm really looking forward to things getting back to a little bit more normal, because we used to do a game night every 2 weeks at our local beer garden, and I've been missing that a ton. Okay, so we put 2 people in the castle. When you put people in the castle, you check to see if you personally have more than 3 people in your section of the castle. He only has 2. So that is it for that. Then you check to see if there are 4 people total in that section of the castle. Again, that has not happened. So we are good there. So he's done his entire turn. And that's the entire AI turn. It's super great. So on my turn, this guy slides off. He does not have a slide off ability. Everyone else slides down. And let's see, what am I going to do this time? I could do a bunch of trade. I do not have enough to build with. I can't do a bunch of trade. I could have 2 trade, 3 trade. I have 2 build. I have 3 nobility, which means I could put 2 more people in the castle. And if I do that there, so let's see, if I do that there, it would work. If I do it here, it would work. Here, I would get more cash. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do the journeyman. He does give me trade, so we're going to start building for another trade turn coming up, because I am really short on resources. We have to move 2, so basically whatever card you put down, whatever the silver cost is on it, tells you what the minimum amount of movement you have to do is. So I'm going to do 1 and 2 to come up here. You can spend money to move further, but that's as far as I want to go right now. And then we're going to do a castle action. So we have 1, 2, 3, which means I can put in 2 guys. But the nice thing is I put these 2 guys in here, and they cause an explosion, kind of like in Pandemic. So then this guy's going to move over here. Oh, sorry, we move the middle guy first. So the middle guy comes up here, which immediately gives me 1 gold, which will be great because gold is used when you're doing castle actions. And I can move 1 person side to side. So if I move this person, oh no, I think, again, I will repeat, this is the first time I played this, so if I have to reach for the rule book, then I reach for the rule book. Move 1 of your workers from the first tier section of the castle to an adjacent tier section. Oh, that's an ore. That's an ore. Okay, so I took the gold. That's better. So I moved a guy up. This guy moves over, and this guy moves over. There is not a new explosion here, and there's not a new explosion of my guys here, but now there are 4 people total in this area, and that does cause something to happen. I think what happens is one of the guys gets booted out, which is good because it gets the enemy out of the castle. Let's check to see if there are more than 3 workers, regardless of color, in any the first or second tier sections. If there are, they must bump off a number of workers until there are only 3 from that section. The current player decides which workers will be bumped off. They can even choose their own workers. Workers bumped off the castle are always returned to their opponent's or their owner's supply. The player also gains an immediate reward. When bumped off the first tier, the player gains 2 silver. When bumped off the second tier, they gain 1 virtue and 1 resource. So I could bump off the enemy and give him a bonus. He would gain a resource of his type. I'm not too concerned about that. I think I'm all right with that because I don't want to bump my guy off. So we're going to bump that guy off, and he gets a stone. So I'm all right with that. That's good. Keeping him out of the castle. And then that was my primary action. I can buy this card if I want to. God, she's still hanging out there. I don't want her, so I'm not going to take her. I check for collision. I don't have collision. And then I draw. Okay, so we're going to move this off, and these slide down, and we're going to see what the AI is going to do now. Still haven't gotten any advanced, so that's good. Looks like he's going to be building this turn. So he has 1 build, 2 build, and then 3 stone, so he probably will be able to build. He's going to dismiss the card in the area that he's in, so this gets dismissed, which means that moves up. And then he's going to move 4 spaces. He's here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's going to attempt to build. He has, what did I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means he can build this building here. So he gains another deed card. And that was this one. Oh, so anytime there's a collision, he gets to flip a deck card, so long as he doesn't have any villains in his row. And that's it. That's it for the AI card. The AI turns are super, super easy. All right, so the thief falls off the edge. And the thief does have a fall off ability. The thief gives me a debt, which is worth -2 points until I flip it, but also gives me a coin. Awesome. And then these 2 slide down, and don't draw off a deck. You put one of these out. Am I going to do build or am I going to do buy? I think I'm going to do buy. So I'm going to put Lothair out, and Lothair gets me one of each resource. Where are y'all from, if you don't mind me asking? Especially if you're, looking for local players and stuff like that. I'm just curious. Oh, Wales, awesome! That was super great. I'm sorry I waited so long to ask the question, but yeah, totally. And be sure to hit me a follow. I try and do board games at least once a week. And then I also play Xbox on a lot of the weekdays. So yeah, definitely hit me up and check out my channel. Again, thanks for stopping by, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's see. Lothair gave me a bunch of resources. Well, it's nice to see you too. And so I have to move a minimum of 1, and I'm probably going to try and do some buying this time. So I can move up to here, which means I'd be able to buy gold, which is kind of what my bread and butter is right now. And so, yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm just going to do that. That's pretty simple and straightforward. So I'm going to move up here. It basically takes 2 buy to get a gold, or 2 buying power to get a gold. I have 3, so I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 more coin so that I get 4 buying power, which gives me 2 gold. That'll be really great when I get back to the castle area. Again, I still don't want to buy this person. I don't want to dismiss that person, so they're basically just... This is like the first person that was in the first place when I first started this game, and I keep hoping that the AI will dismiss them as they're running around, but they haven't dismissed that person yet. It's been super annoying. So then I draw a card. It looks like we're going to do some building coming up real soon, which makes me think I should probably get some stone, but we'll see what happens. So now the AI goes. So this falls off the end, and then these slide down. And we have the first of the advanced cards. Okay. Oh yeah, that's definitely advanced. Okay, so the first thing they do is they gain 2 of their preferred resource, which is still stone, almost maxed on stone. Then they're going to move 2 spaces here, and then they're going to attempt to build. And then if they can't build, they're going to do their primary action, which is build. The Netherlands, almost bedtime as well. It's fun. It's a fun game. I hope your dinner, your snacking is good, and yeah, definitely hang out. I realize that it's later over there, but yeah, hang out and just check out the game. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, just feel free to drop it in the chat. Okay, so they're going to build, and they have a ton of resources, which means they're probably going to build big. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, they're going to build one of their big buildings. Their big building will go here. Anytime they get to reshuffle, they get a resource of their choice. So they're going to spend all of this, but then they're going to get one back. And then they also have a permanent addition to their build skill. So I kind of feel like at this point, the AI is probably doing a whole lot better than I am. But, you know, again, this is my first time playing through it. I fully expect to get destroyed here. So let's see. So now it's my turn. The squire doesn't do anything when they fall off the edge. So these slide down, and then I get to decide who I'm going to put up next. It's clearly going to be some building, because that's literally all that's out there. The question is, what bonus do I want to get? I could actually cause a collision in my benefit, I guess. If I really wanted to, or I could wait and get some gold at the end. I think we're going to do the Tinker. Doesn't get me anything immediately, but it does set me up to either build or do a transcription. Right now I don't have anything. I don't have enough to do either of those. I really need to get some more build bonuses, which means I probably should do some more buying, especially since I have 3 buying still on the board. Let's see, I'm going to move 2 spaces. Stone is over here, so I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2 spaces. Stone is 2 for 1, so I have 3 build currently, or 3 buy currently. So if I spend 1 coin, I can get 2 stone. So now I can do a decent construction, but I have a bunch more construction. In fact, oh, do I spend 2 more coins? Oh, that is a tough call. So if I spend 2 more coins, I'll have 4 here. Then I'll have 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Because I could spend those 2 to get the other Tinker. I don't think I want the other Tinker. I think I'll probably save them so that I can use an extra ability in the game or on the board instead and dismiss someone. That actually is probably a better plan. Okay, so I did my primary action. I could buy the person there, but I decided I didn't want to. I checked for clash. I don't have one. I draw a card. The lookout. Somehow the lookout never really made it. I don't think the lookout ever made it. I think I discarded him. All right, excuse me. So now the AI is going to go. So this falls off the end. You slide down. I bet this is going to be advanced. Nope, that's not advanced. But they do have a corruption there. So corruption's going to move up. They are going to gain their last card. And when they gain their last card, they also dismiss the card in the space. They finally dismiss the card that I didn't want from the very beginning of the game. And the resulting card is kind of awesome, but I'm going to need to generate some cash before I get there. Let's see. Oh, I'm definitely going to have a collision next game, or next turn. They're going to move 1 space, and then they're going to attempt to do their primary action, which is build, but they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they can build. They have 5 build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 build. So they're going to build that here. They gain the resource of their choice. They also, see which one was that? That was 1, 2, 3. They have yet another dismiss ability. And that's it. That's it for their turn. They have got their entire deck over there. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so this is going to come off the end, which means I'm definitely going to have a collision. That's going to stick there. I also get to recruit for free the person in the space where I'm in. I was kind of thinking I might want that person. Well, now I got that person for real. Oh, man, 2 trade every time you build? It's kind of weird. I'm not. Oh no, 2 trade equals a build. Gotcha. That's kind of interesting. So then these slide down, and we're definitely going to do some more building. I think we're going to go ahead and do the laborer. because the minor isn't really going to benefit me when he falls off the, or he's not going to, oh no, actually he will benefit me. Yeah, so we're going to do the minor, because the minor immediately moves my entire stack in the positive direction. Was it? It's not corruption. It is virtue. So it moves me in the virtuous direction. So that's good. And then let's see. So now I'm going to do my movement. Excuse me. Am I going to build this turn? How much build do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 build, which means I could put out one of these buildings. It gives me 2 extra buy power, and I'm kind of short on resources. That might actually not be a bad idea. I'm going to have to move 2 spaces, which means I could move here. Could flip one of my cards. Let's see. And the best I can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish I could have gotten a 7. I don't think there's anywhere I can go to get to 7. 6 is, there's no difference between 5 and 6. So I think what we're going to do, because I don't want to buy the conspirator either. But if I build here, which I can't build there. I can really only build here or further if I pay. I think we're just going to go here and we're going to build here. So we're going to go 1, 2 for my 2 movement. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to build. Do we have to build left to right? I don't think we do. The AI does, but I don't think we do. Hopefully I haven't cheated. Pretty sure I haven't. Yeah, you can totally decide which building. Yep, okay. So we're going to build this one, and we're going to put it here, which means we're going to flip this debt, which means we gain a resource of our choice. I'm going to go ahead and gain ink. I get 2 extra purchasing power, buying power. I think that's it for my primary action. Yeah, okay. So then I have the option to buy that character there if I want. I don't think I want to recruit them. Because I've been doing such a good job not getting a whole bunch of corrupt thieves in my card deck, and I don't really want to discard anything right now. So I think we're good. So now we deal with the collision. For the collision, I gain a coin and 2 deeds. Oh, the deed deck's getting low. I'm going to start flipping over some of my deeds. And just so you're aware, the game continues on until one or the other of these decks is out. And there are, looks like 5 deeds left. There's a whole lot more debt left, but there's only 5 deeds left. And then I'm not quite sure how that symbol works. I think it means, here, let's check for collisions. Checking for collisions. Resolve collision. There are a number of effects that must be resolved. Must be resolved in the following order. All players that have constructed their second workshop with no criminals on their player board gain 1 virtue. Oh, that's that. All townsfolk cards on player boards that have effects ending with collisions are resolved. Okay. All current players gain the items printed directly above where their virtue and corruption markers sit. All opposing players gain the items printed directly below where the current play. Okay, so that you still didn't tell me what the symbols mean. Thanks, but no thanks. I think if I remember correctly, that is if you have one or more corruption in your row, your corruption marker moves, which they do. So the corruption marker moves. They're going to resolve a collision on their turn. They get nothing else. They just get to move that. Okay, that makes sense. And there will be a collision resolved over there. Okay, so over here, I draw my last card. Yep, we're going to do some buying here pretty soon. Because now with this card coming out, I'll have 4 buying power. So now we're over here. This moves down. These move down. And let's see. So they are going to move this direction 1 and also dismiss the card in the area where they're at. That's too bad. That was kind of a card that I wanted, but I was never going to get there in time. Wow, that guy's got a lot of buying power, and he's cheap. So then they're going to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can rearrange my cards if I would like. I think what we're going to do... I don't think we're going to build again, so I might start shedding builders. So I'm going to do that. That's good. And then they're going to do so they're going to do a transcription if they can, which they can. They have 1, 2, 3 transcription. So they're going to gain this. Which means they immediately gain the card that's in the area, but they don't have any more cards to gain. And there's not a alternate for that, so they just don't gain any cards, I'm guessing. I'm going to play that to my advantage this time for once. All right, because all those symbols are the same, right? It said that somewhere. All these symbols seem to serve purpose. They add 1 card from the top of the future scheme draw pile, face up on their discard pile. And I don't think it says anywhere. Oh, they do gain. And they get to discard a card, but they can't discard a card, so it doesn't really make a difference. And it doesn't say anything about when they run out of advanced AI cards, so they're just going to keep their advanced AI cards. Cat's over there playing with a spring under the door. Okay, so they did their primary action, but then they have a collision. They gain a resource of their preference. They also gain 1 deed and 1 debt. And I get to rearrange my cards, which I literally just did. So I get nothing out of that. Oh, I forgot to reset mine. And then they reset theirs. And it's back to me. So this guy comes off the end. He provides me a gold when he falls off, which is awesome. I really need to get in and do a castle move now. Actually, I can hold off. So we're going to do the lender. I think we're going to do the lender. Where are we at? Oh, sorry, my head's in the way. I think instead of the lender, we're going to do the lookout. So the lookout allows me to immediately take this card for free and put it there. I think a slash is or. Slash, it makes sense that a slash would be or. Look, I don't know. I'm looking up. Slashes are or. So I'm going to immediately take that card for free, because that card was actually super awesome. The patron will be great for me. I do get to discard a card when I take her. So I'm going to go ahead and discard the laborer, because I'm not going to be building anytime soon. And I get to move 1 space. And let's see. I either have 2 build or 4 purchase, or 3. I could do 3 on conscript, or not transcript. 2, 4, 5, 6, or 7. It's not 8. And there's no one out there who actually has a bonus to being in the castle. I think. I wish I could get here. I wouldn't be able to do it anyway because that's a 5. Let's see. So I'm here. I have to move 1 space. So this is really the only space I can go to. So I could do a purchase of ink. That may be what I do, just to make it as simple and straightforward as possible. Because I get 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 2 ink. So yeah, we're just going to move 1 space, and we're going to get 4 ink. 2 ink. I get 4 purchase. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 ink. Oh, I forgot to resolve that. We're good. We're good. And then at the end of the turn, I'm supposed to draw back up to 3, but I don't have 3 cards, or don't have any cards to draw. So I shuffle these up. Really need to start resolving some of those flip cards over there, that's for sure. And 2, 3. Oh man, where are all my nobles? All right, so this is going to fall off here, and it's going to slide down, and they're going to get this. All right, so they move their corruption. They flip over a debt and get a resource of their choice. Move 2 spaces, 1, 2, and then they do their preferred action if they can, and if not, they gain a debt and a deed and a resource of their choice. I don't think they can do their preferred action. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 build. They need 7 build. So instead, they're going to get a debt and a deed and a stone. All right. See how fast the AI is? Man, I remember the AI in Paladins just taking forever. And every time they did their action, I just felt like I got really, really messed up. All right, so the miner falls off. Has no fall off ability. We're going to do more trading. Kind of think that's what we're going to do, because we could generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trade power. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could do 4 to flip a card. I have a bunch of cards to flip. I mean, I could have a lot more cards to flip. Or I could spend 1 extra and go 2 spaces. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go 2 spaces, and we're going to get a bunch of gold. All right, so we're going to use this one. And she'll flip a card when she gets to the end anyway. She would normally take me 1. If I spend a coin, I get to move 2. So 1, 2. And then what do I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 2 for 1 on gold. So I get 3 gold. Let's see. Recruiting him, or rather dismissing him, would really only get me 1 additional gold, or 1 additional coin, which doesn't translate to anything. Do I want to buy him, though? I don't really want to buy him, so I'm just going to leave him there. Check for collision, no collision, draw a card. Take that off. These both move down, and woo! All right, so 1, 2, 3 corruption. 1, 2, 3. They flip a deed. I think that's the first deed they flipped. No, it's the second deed they flipped, which is 2 more deeds than I've flipped, and they are worth a lot more points when they're flipped. But they have a lot more negative points than I do also. And they move 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. And then they're going to do their preferred action, or they're going to do this other thing. I think they can do their preferred action now, because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So they're going to do their preferred action. They're going to take this one. Ooh, What happens if they can't build within range? I don't think they can. Oh, they should have another deed. I think, yep, that's the only combo. It's the only combo they've picked up. Oh, no. Nope, the AI cannot cross rivers to place buildings. So, yeah, they can't place a building, which means he does his alternate, which is gain a deed. This game's almost over. And flip a deck, which gets him a resource of his choice. Okay. So nothing happens when Lothweir falls off. Okay, so what are we going to do? We could put out the trader, but I don't think we want to put out the trader just yet. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put out this tinker. He doesn't help a ton, but we have a ton of gold. We have a ton of ink, which means I could either... oh, there we go. Maybe I could do that. So he's going to move 2 spaces. So that could be 1, 2, and then I could actually buy that, which would get me another resource of my type, which could be gold, resource of my preference, rather. I could move over here, which would get me another deed card, which is worth another point. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 to move here. So it would take all of my gold, but then it would, or all my coins, but then I would get, do I have a favorite solo game? Oddly enough, probably my favorite solo game is One Deck Dungeon. It sounds really silly for it to be something so simple, but I find that it's one of the most balanced solo games that I've played. And one of the reasons that I like it so much is that it's actually designed as a solo game as opposed to a lot of other games that are, you know, they're multiplayer games that have like an AI component or something like that built into them. It genuinely is like I've played it as a lunch game a bunch because I can literally just throw it out and play it in about a half an hour. So it really is quick, simple, straightforward. I can play it real easy. And it has a wide amount of variety. It has increasing challenge levels, and then it even has a campaign mode, which I haven't started yet, but I'm probably going to try to do fairly soon, which is neat. So your character keeps getting tougher, and the monsters keep getting tougher as you go through. I have not played it solo yet, but one of my other games that I really want to play solo, I've been playing it as a 2-player game, but from everything everything I've seen, it plays pretty much the same as a solo, is Aeon's End. Aeon's End is super, super fun. It's a co-op game, but as a solo game, I think it would basically be about the same. I have read that it starts to get slower and more sluggish when you get up to 3 and 4 players. I've only played it as 2, but I suspect that even as 1, it would be... Well, I take it back. I played it as a solo the first time I got out of the box because I wanted to familiarize myself with it. And it works pretty well as a solo game. So I definitely like that one to work for that too. So yeah, both of those are pretty good as solo games. Thanks for the follows, guys. I blanked out. I didn't even see them up there, but everyone who followed me, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm going to try and keep streaming as much as I can during these downtimes. Yeah, it's super great for travel, right? Because it just fits in the box. You can take it anywhere you want with it. Oh yeah, for sure. I get you. Yeah, travel is kind of my travel is going to and from work, so it fits in my bag real easy. I 3D printed a little box so that everything fits in there a little bit nicer without having all the Ziploc bags and everything. It's super good. Speaking of games that are quick to pick up and take with you, I also picked up what is it? The Marvel Champions living card game, and that's another one because you don't have to take the whole box. You just have to take like the one hero and the one villain that you want to work with. I know a lot of people do that as like a lunchtime game because you can practically fit everything you need in your pocket when you're heading out the door to go wherever you want to play. So that's another good single solo player. I've got a bunch of playthroughs of Hero Marvel Champions solo play in my collected videos below if you're curious about that one as well. I have lost track of. Oh, I was trying to decide what I was going to do. That's what I was. Yeah, I appreciate the chat, but I also have a hard time keeping track. So I'm not saying don't ask questions, don't comment. I really enjoy that. It's just sometimes it takes me a second to get back up to speed. So I was trying to decide what I was going to do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 purchasing power. And if I were to purchase here, I would get even more purchasing power. I'm going to move 2 spaces. I think I was going to transcribe. I can't remember if I played. I think my brother has Tiny Epic Galaxies, but he lives in Indiana where I'm in Texas, and we just haven't had a chance to play that one yet. Like I think we get it out every time we're hanging out, back when we could travel. But I don't think we've ever actually played it. So it's definitely one that's kind of on my list, one to kind of keep a look at. Do I really want to? I don't think I want to do transcription right now. Do I want to do a castle action? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could dump a ton of gold and put a bunch of guys in the castle right now, which would get me several bonuses. But I'd have to move at least one more space to go here to make it really worthwhile. No, actually, if I put them here, it's super worthwhile. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to move 2 spaces, and then we're going to do a castle action, which I have currently 1, 2 nobility, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nobility. Do I want to put? I don't think I need to put all 4 of them in. I think I'm just going to put 3 in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save some gold. Save some gold. So for 5, I get to put in 3 guys. And this is where it gets super awesome because there's going to be some explosions here. So the first guy moves up here, which gets me a gold, or I can move a guy. I don't think I want to move a guy. So it gets me a gold. So I've got one of my gold back already. Then this guy moves over here, and this guy moves over here. And then what happens? And then what happens is this guy moves up here, which lets me hire for free from the zone that I'm in. I'm okay with that. I'm going to hire that guy for free, which allows me to shuffle my discard back into my deck. I'm all right. But also move this guy here and this guy here. And then, because this one has 3, it allows me to move this guy up, which means I can flip over one of my deeds. And then it moves this guy here and this guy here. And now, because there's 3 here, this guy moves up, and I get a resource of my type. We're gonna double down on castling. I have the iOS version of One Deck Dungeon, and I played it once, I think, and it was really, really well done. If it's anything like the Steam one, yes, they are really well done. And I keep forgetting that I have it because I really need to actually sit down and play it more because it was quick and easy and it resolved so many things for me. Okay, so we moved this guy up. Thanks for that reminder. I completely forget about that sometimes. This moves over here, and do you get? Actually, no. Hold on. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. We got to check second tier castle. I haven't done a second tier castle move yet. Another first tier. After resolving all first tier, the current player must then check to look at the second tier. If there are any 3 of their workers in that section, they must move one worker inward towards the third tier, immediately gaining any one resource. However, unlike the first tier, workers never move clockwise. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so then once you've completed that movement, they must check to see if there are 3 or more. So we have 3 or more here, so I'm going to boot that guy, which means he gets a stone. Yeah, it's the last stone he gets. And then the castle leader card is immediately awarded to the first player to move a worker into the third tier of the castle. The card should be kept alongside the current leader's player board. However, should another. Okay, so I don't think anyone else is gonna take it from me, but I get that, which gets me 5 bonus points at the end of the game. So if nothing else, I'm getting 5 points in this game. So that was my primary action. Now that I've gotten a bunch of free cards. No, 1 free card. Do I want to buy the card that's in the space that I'm in now? I can't because it costs me 3. So then I draw a card, and that's the end of my turn. All right, so they're getting so many points for frickin' building. It's insane. All right, so they move a bunch. So they have a collision, and they can't move any further up. They actually got all of their corruption cards in a row. For better or for worse, they got all of their corruption cards in a row. They gain a debt, and at the end of the turn, they're going to gain 3 more debts. This might have worked out in my favor. They're going to move 4 spaces, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they're going to perform their preferred action, which they absolutely can do. Because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's not a building in that space. So they need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot to count that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to put this here, which gets them an ink. And it will give them a permanent nobility. So that's it for that. Then they get their corruption, or their collision is resolved. So they gain 2 of their chosen resource, which were the last 2. They gain 3 debt cards. 1, 2, 3. That is negative 6 points. But there's also only 1 debt card left and only 1 deed card left. So there's only 1 card left for each pile before we determine the end of the game. Which is going to be fun and interesting because I've never scored this, so that's going to be really interesting to do live on camera. And then I have 1 criminal in my board, so I do not gain a deed card. Ah, well, it happens. It happens. All right, so their turn is done. This guy drops off. He doesn't do anything when he drops off. And then they slide down. I'm not super excited about it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put our squire out. And so he lets me move 2. So we're going to move 1, 2. And I think we're going to go ahead and pick this up. So that is... I wonder why that slash is there. That's kind of weird. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick that up. And currently we have 1. Okay, so I have 1 transcription, one cleric ability. It's funny, he's a tinker who's a cleric. I could recruit him, which gives me no cleric ability, but I do have 4 ink. So I'm going to go ahead and spend the 4 ink to make the total of 5, which allows me to pick that up. And that gives me a permanent nobility, which is awesome. I could buy that guy, but again, I don't think the game's going to last long enough for it to be worth it for me to buy him. So I'm just going to call it quits right there. I check for collision. Oh no, we did the collision there. I just didn't separate them back out. Okay, right, because I got nothing for it. I check for collision. I don't have collision, and then I draw a card. Oh, this is getting real close, real close. This, in fact, depending on what flips out here, it might be the end. Is it? Nope. Oh, maybe. It depends on what happens at the very bottom of the stack here. All right, so they're getting a nobility. They reshuffle their deck, which they were going to have to reshuffle their deck anyway. When they reshuffle their deck, both of these move inward. Okay. Oh, lordy. Okay. Then they're going to move one space to here. They're not going to attempt to do a castle action. If they can do a castle action, they probably can. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 castle icons. They don't have any gold, but they have 5 castle icons, which is enough to put 3 people in the castle, which is in fact going to trigger an explosion. 1, 2. Oh, can we fit all of them? 3. Okay. It's almost like they are designed specifically to hold 6 people because they tell you to keep eliminating until you have 3 or less. But I could put 4 in, and that would override that. All right, so this is going to move up 1, which means his virtue is going to move up 2. Then this guy's going to move 1 this direction, and this guy's going to move 1 this direction. And then we check for any other explosions. There are no other explosions. There are no numbers of 4. So we're actually in good shape. So yeah, he didn't end the game. That's good. All right, so she slides off the bottom, which means I get to flip over another deed, which gets me 2 more points. And then I can play one of these. It'd be super awesome if any of these guys helped me with getting on the castle, but none of them do. We're going to go ahead and put out the journeyman. I don't think he's going to make it to the bottom, but he might. We never know. As no one else has an instant action that's all that useful. He does give me 2 movement, which could get me to here. Which is fine. If I get to here, that's good enough. Is that the best spot? I think it is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move to 1, 2. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I want to go to 8? Don't think that 8's going to... Oh, 8 will cause a second explosion. Why not? We're right at the very end of the game. We'll go ahead and do 8, which gets 4 guys out there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first thing that happens is one guy moves up, which flips over my last deed. I don't have nearly as many debts and deeds as the AI does, but all of mine are flipped. So I at least get more points that way. This guy moves over, and this guy moves over, which causes an explosion here, which means this guy moves up, which means I can either get a gold or I can move someone laterally. I am going to move someone laterally. I'm going to move this guy laterally. And then this guy moves laterally, and this guy moves laterally. And then this one explodes, which means this guy moves up. I don't have any more debts or deeds to flip over, so I don't get any benefit from that. But then this guy moves laterally, and this guy moves laterally. And then this guy moves up, which gets me a resource. We're going to get some gold. And then this guy moves up. We're going to get some more gold. Oop. There we go. Awesome. We are just killing it in the castle. Where are we at? We're here. I don't think I want to buy that guy. He's definitely not going to be of any use to me, so there's no point to doing that. All he would do is allow me to discard a card, which is not a super great ability. We don't have a collision, so then we draw a card. All right, so this could in fact be the last turn. That slides down, that slides down, that slides down. Yeah, it doesn't look great for whatever action they want to do. Let's see. So they move this direction, and then they recruit the person, or they dismiss the person in their square, which is that person. So that person gets dismissed. They can shuffle, which means they gain a resource of their choice, which is gold. Because they already have 6. They already have 6 stone. Once they have 6 stone, they start working on gold. So that could actually mean they could do a castle move. We'll find out. Then they move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. They attempt to do. Oh, actually, they're going to do that. Yep. They attempt to do transcription, which the transcription only costs 3. They have 1, 2, 3. 3 transcription. So yeah, they in fact succeed at transcribing, which would gain them 4 gold. Instead, it gets them 2 resources of their choice, which at this point is it would gain them 2 coins, but at this point in time, they're interested in gold, so we'll get them 2 gold for 4 coins. And once again, the game did not end. All right, so he falls off, which gets me a gold. Oops, I shot one out of the bin. All right, and then these slide down. Oh, I didn't even notice I got my gatekeeper. That's cool. So we're gonna put my gatekeeper out, which means I can redistribute. So I'm gonna redistribute like that. It keeps my nobility on a little bit longer and also gets this fall off power closer to falling off. And then I get to move 1 space. Is 1 space going to be helpful? Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 is fine. I can work with 5. Because I don't think we want to do the transcription. All right, so we're going to do, yeah, actually that's pretty darn good. So we're going to just move the 1 space. And then we're going to do the primary action. Do I want to, I can't recruit that person even if I wanted to, so they're just going to hang out there. And if I moved further, I would not be able to recruit the next person either. Oh, I forgot I have a bonus. That actually works out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to do 8, which lets me put 4 meeples in the castle. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, what have I done? That guy was there, and this guy was going here. All right, 4. So that triggers an explosion here, which goes 1 up, which allows me to move 1 person laterally, which means I'm going to move this person here. And then this person moves this direction, and this person moves this direction. So then here's an explosion here, which means I get to move 1 person up. I can recruit the card that's in my space for free, or I can discard a card. I don't know that discarding is going to be that useful, but we'll go ahead and discard this one because that person's not super, super helpful. It would be really great if it was early on and I was doing a bunch of transcription. And then we're going to move 1 person this direction and 1 person this direction, which causes an explosion, which means I get to move this person up, which means I get to move 1 person laterally. I'm going to move this person laterally, which means I get to move 1 person this way and 1 person this way, which causes an explosion, which means I get to move 1 person up. I could flip over another card, but I don't have any more cards to flip over, so then this person moves laterally and this person moves laterally. What does it say about 3 or more? Because sure, like clearly, that's a thing that can happen. 3 or more of their workers in a section, they must move 1 worker inwards to the 3rd tier, immediately gaining any 1 resource. It just says 1. That's fine. So you basically can queue up people to move up. So this person moves up, which gets me a gold. This person moves up, which gets me a gold. This person moves up, which gets me a gold. So 3 gold. 1, 2, 3. I think this is my machine right now. I didn't intend to become noble, but that's what's happened. Yeah, and I didn't want to buy the person. I couldn't buy the person that was in the place where I was. So that's where we're at. It's getting crowded up here, people. I got 5 guys up here. I hope they're worth points at the end. So the AI is going to go. They're going to move. Okay, so there's a collision. That's going to trigger the end of the game. That collision right there does it. They were going to move 1 space. They're going to attempt to transcribe, which, let's see, they have 1, 2, 2. So they can't transcribe because they need 3 to transcribe. They don't have any bonus ink. They don't have any other bonuses. They don't have any criminals. It is literally just the 3 or the 2, 1, 2, which means they're going to attempt to do their primary action, which is build, and they can not build, which means they're going to gain a deed and flip a debt. Here's a good question. When you run out of deeds and debts, but you earn more deeds or debts, do you gain additional? Because it does tell you to set them off to the side. End of the game. The game is triggered. End of the game is triggered once the poverty card or prosperity card is revealed. At this point, the current round is finished. Then 1 round takes place so that all players have the same number of turns. It is possible for both poverty and prosperity cards to be revealed. This is called the Divided Kingdom, meaning that both cards will be active during final scoring. Okay, so it doesn't say there. Surely it says somewhere. Throughout the game, players will be gaining deeds and debts. These are always taken from the tops of these 2 piles. So it sounds like there's... It doesn't... I don't see anything about getting any extras. So I kind of think once they're gone, they're gone. Which I'm totally okay with. So we resolve the collision because we take 1 more turn. I was the start player, so we'll do 1 more each. There are no more deed cards to take, so they don't get any deed cards. I don't have a criminal, so I don't get any debt cards, and these go back to the way they were. And then, so this is my final turn. So this guy drops off. I can recruit this person for free. Might as well. I don't think it helps, but I don't think it hurts. We're gonna play the criminal because at least it gives me a bonus something or other. Because I can't get enough ribbons because I have 1 of each, and I think you need sets of 4 to get any bonus points from those, which means I would only be able to get 1. Or you have to get 3 of a kind, which I already have 2 of a kind, 2 different ones, so that doesn't help either. So we're just going to go ahead and get the thief. I did move that. If I didn't, it's fine. We're too far along at this point. So I'm going to move 1 space. Is this the best space for me to move to, or should I move 1 more space? Because I could move 2 more spaces. I think being here is better because I'll move someone up here, which allows me to move another person up again. It'll also get me another trigger here, but it won't necessarily do much for me. Moving here wouldn't help any. Moving here, I would move someone up, but I wouldn't move anyone up here, which does, okay, so yeah, this is the best place for me. All right, so that's where we're gonna stay. Do I wanna use the person who's in the space with me? There are no additional deeds, so there's no benefit. I could plow my virtue token down, which would get me more deeds, but there are no more deeds to gain, so there's no help there. I could try and get a debt somehow, but I don't see any way to do that. So I'm not too concerned about it. So we're just going to stop right there. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 8 nobility. I might as well go ahead and use it all. What happens if you run out of meeples? Because I know some of the items are unlimited, but I don't know that meeples are. All of the following items are considered to be unlimited. Debts. Oh. Debts and deeds are unlimited. Huh. So he would have gotten 3 more deeds. Debts, deeds, ink, stone, gold, silver. So meeples are not. So what happens if you perform a castle action? You don't have enough guys. You have, yeah, so you're limited. So there's no point to me. So I do need to move 1 more space if I want to do anything, but it's not really worth it. Curious. So let's see. We'll take our 3 gold back because it might be worth something in the end. We'll get the gold out of the ink. So we were here before we did anything else. So yeah, we're going to move 2. Which costs us an extra gold, or an extra coin, rather. And then we're just going to put 1 guy in. It costs 1. I've got a ton of nobility, but it only costs 1 to put 1 guy in. So we'll put 1 guy in. That triggers an explosion. So this guy moves here, or sorry, this guy moves up. 1, 2. This guy moves here, and this guy moves here, which this causes an explosion. So this guy moves up, which means I get an ink and a stone. Which means, and then this guy moves here, and then this guy moves here. Then we check the next level. There's 1 guy, there's 2 guys, there's 3 guys. There's 2 guys, there's 1 guy. And then I can't buy the guy who's in the area with me anymore. So then the AI takes their turn, and that's the end of the game. And then I get to figure out how to score. So the AI... they are going to gain a resource of their choice, which at this point is still gold. That's the last gold they'll achieve. They're going to move 1 space. And then they're going to attempt to build. They can build. So they're going to build here because it costs 1. Oh, maybe they can't. Hold on. Let's go back. What do they have for build? They have 1. Excuse me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they can. Okay, so they're going to use all of that to build here, which moves this 1 direction. It gains them 1 stone for having surrounded that area. And that's it. They have 1 additional transcribe or cleric for the rest of the game. Okay, so that is the end. So now it's time to figure out scoring. And usually I would use my phone to do scoring, so I probably will grab that so that I can do my score. Try not to disrupt it'll try and disrupt as little on the board as possible here. All right, so constructed buildings. I have 1 constructed building from this section, so that's 4. Score 4. Nope, not 42. But I'd be winning already. I have 1 constructed building from this section, which is 6. And then the AI has criminy. 9 plus 15 plus 21. Because they built all other buildings. 9 plus 15 plus 21. Things are not looking good for Casey right now. That is for sure Okay, so then workers in castle. 1 VP for each worker in the castle equal to the tier in the castle. Interesting. So there's a few extra points for me. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for that. We're going to put it on me. And then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. See, now we're catching up some. And then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. This game balances out kind of nicely then. So if you focus on one thing that your opponent doesn't, it kind of works out. VPs for sets of different ribbon colors from specific manuscripts. Neither of us got enough to be able to do that. Yeah, because that's right here. For each set, right? Oh, actually, you may, let's see. They get 6, no, they get 44 VP from manuscripts, 26 from their 3 sets, 6 from constructed buildings, 5 from mobile icons, 4 from criminal icons, 3 from flipped debts. What? Oh, okay, I see. What? Sorry, this is... $26 from their 3 sets. See if I can make 26. So this would be 16. Plus 9 is 25. Oh, okay, so you do get them even if you don't complete sets. So the AI and I each get 4. No, I get 4, and the AI gets 2. But then also, VP for sets of different color ribbons and from specific manuscripts. 6 from constructed buildings. Oh, I see. So those are pers. Okay. And are we looking at our entire hand when we do that? It looks like there's 1 per nobility icon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that one count? Must. That one must count. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from nobility. No, 5 from nobility. So that one didn't count. Okay, so 5 from nobility icons. Oh, okay. So I think I did that one wrong earlier. I think I may have had to get rid of a little bit of extra gold, but that's fine because I think this is just for scoring. All right. So for nobility, I guess we'll get the cards now. So I gained from nobility 1, 2, 3, 4 from nobility icons. So that's back over to me, plus 4. And then, did you get, nope, they didn't get any that count for points, so that's fine. All right, so then Castle Leader card and Cleric bonus card. So neither of us got any Cleric bonus cards. They got closer to a Cleric bonus card than I did, because they needed 1 more blue. I did not, but I did get the Castle Leader card. Oh, I also had plus 1 hand size. Man, I totally missed that. I was like plus 5 for that. And then here's where things get a little more advantageous for them. So I get for these, I get 3, 6, 9. Plus 9. And then they get, we'll do them this way. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8. Yep, they get 8 from their giant stack of cards. So that worked out. They had so many debts. No, thanks, but I don't want to buy followers. That's not something that I have any interest in doing whatsoever. So thanks, but no thanks. Can I even... I was hoping I could click on that and say, goodbye, but that's not working. We'll get rid of you later. So I may actually be winning this. All right, so poverty card, if revealed, the poverty card was not revealed, but the prosperity card was revealed. Interesting. So by flipping by revealing the prosperity card, you gain bonuses for poverty or for debts, and vice versa. So the players with the most, second most, and third most flipped deeds gain 12, 8, and 4. Must have at least one flipped deed in this case. All right. So with this, it's whoever has the most flipped debts. I have 2. I think they had 3. No, they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they get 12 and I get 8. So plus 12 and plus 8. Man, I think the castle did it for me. I'm not gonna lie. Quit clicking on that. Yeah, that's so weird. I thought I could. Oh, there it is. We're not gonna. We'll block later. We'll block later. No, thank you. No, thank you. In games with less than 3 players, the middle reward is ignored on poverty and prosperity. Okay, so I don't get 8. I get 4. That's fine. $67 to 78. 67 being the AI, 78 being me. You know what really did it, I think, were all these negative points here. I think that really hurt. And even though they had a ton of prosperity cards, they barely flipped any. I actually flipped more prosperity cards and I had no negatives. I mean, they whomped me on buildings. But, I mean, look at the castle. I mean, the castle is all me. But absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I'm actually genuinely surprised. I thought I was going to lose this for sure. I can definitely say that this feels more balanced than Paladins did. Paladins, it was so one-sided every time I played it. And I was playing against the AI. Don't get me wrong. I haven't actually played it against a human because I got to play it after pandemic started. So sorry, just making sure that I save this for the future. But yeah, so I didn't get to play Paladins without playing the solo modes. I can't necessarily say if playing against a person is nearly as one-sided, but man, playing the AI was so one-sided that I felt abused every time I played it. Like that was the main reason I didn't enjoy playing it, was it felt like an abusive relationship. In this, even though I just was watching the AI put out buildings again and again and again, I knew that I was focusing in here. And of course, it may be different in a 3-player game or a 4-player game where there's more competition for the stuff that's going on the board. Basically, once I realized that the AI was going to be putting out buildings the whole time, I just gave up on buildings. I guess I could have doubled down on buildings and made it more difficult for the AI because they have less powerful things that they could do. But I'm a fan. This was a good game. I enjoyed it the whole way through. At no point in time did I feel like I was just going to be wrecked. I did go into it assuming that I was going to get beaten, but it turned out to be pretty good. This is only the third of these Garphill. Is that what it is? Yeah. This is only the third of the Shem Phillips games that I've played because, like I said, I've played Raiders of the North North Sea, which I think is an amazing game. It was from the North Sea series. I think it was the third in the North Sea series. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember for sure. But it by far one of my favorite games ever. I missed out. I just haven't gotten any of the other North Sea games. I was not initially interested in the West Kingdom games as a follow-up. Um, yeah, I think it's definitely worth a play. Even if you play it on Tabletopia, however you get a hold of it, I think it's definitely worth a play. I love that kind of each of the mechanics works in a different way. They all start with the same base, but then the results are different. Like if you're going to go for manuscripts, there's set collecting involved. If you're going to go for the castle, then there's this whole like little inner explosion pandemic thing going on. If you're going for the buildings, it's a little bit more traditional to paladins, because I remember there being a lot of building construction in there. And what's the other one? Well, you don't really gain points for the buying stuff, but it's its own mechanic with the trades and everything like that. I think you could probably try and double down on the debt and deed cards and maybe potentially get a lot of extra points that way. I haven't dug through the piles of the villagers, but there may be villagers that give you extra points. Clearly, the manuscripts have a bunch of points hiding inside of them. So I think that's one of the things I like about it, is that there are so many different ways to get points. You can kind of find your shtick, and I didn't find it really difficult to make a decent deck. I mean, this is a deck builder at its base. I didn't find it that difficult to kind of start putting a deck together. And kind of focusing a little bit. There are a lot of cards that allow you to clean your deck and trim it. But also it wasn't too hard to kind of find a way to start engine building. Just basically going down through buying the resources you need and then spending the resources to get into whatever it is you want to do. Like, you know, the AI was totally down on getting as much stone as possible, and it was able to just stomp out buildings. And for a while I was working really slow, but eventually I kind of got this buying gold mechanism working down, and it all kind of started to fall together. Now, I highly advise this. I highly recommend this game. I think it's one of the better of the Shem Phillips series. Kudos to him for putting this together and getting it out. I'm so glad that I backed the Kickstarter. If it's not on shelves yet, I'm expecting it probably will be on shelves soon. I really like this. This has been one of my more enjoyable solo games. Even when I thought I was going to lose, this was one of my more enjoyable solo sessions. So thanks for tuning in. I love that I got that influx of guys from the raid earlier. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for following me and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it, and I hope that I get to see you all again soon. For now, have a good day, and I will see you next time.